Hi guys, I'm back again to do another review. It's been quite a while since I've done a proper review. It's been a few months actually. The last video I ever made was the one about the, I think it was the review of Predators? No, the one of the Choir in one of my update videos. That was the last time I really went to the cinema to see anything. Anyway, I'm back again to do this review. In this review I'll be doing a film that's come out last week actually, and this will be my review of the comedy film starring Simon Pegg, Nick Frost and Seth Rogen, and this is the film Paul.
Standing in crop circles, naked, gazing at the stars. There's a possibility there could be life on Mars. I hope they bring back Elvis, 'cause how crazy would that be? I know he's up there somewhere playing Halo APT.
Now the film's been out for just over a week now. I went to see it today with my sister, and in all honesty I think it's one of the best comedies I've seen in a long while. Actually I think it's probably one of the best comedies I've seen ever. It was wrote by Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, and it's really well written, and I really like that. Comedy was great stuff. If you're a comedy fan, I really recommend going to see it, but then also if you're a sci-fi fan, there are a lot of references to sci-fi films in this. And I think the film is awesome. The basic plot of the film is that two best mates, Graham and Clive, two English sci-fi nerds, have basically gone to the US to go to the Comic-Con convention in California. Graham is a failing writer. He's not well known, but he does try and write some good stuff. Anyway, and they also go to America to have a road trip across America, going to all the alien sighting hotspots and UFO hotspots and things. Basically just trying to see these places and say we've been to these places. And they end up getting more than they expected, as they end up meeting an alien called Paul, voiced in the film by comedy actor Seth Rogen, who suddenly asks them for help in trying to get him home. Turns out that Paul has basically escaped from Area 51 and is on the run from the FBI and special agents and everything, and he's put the burden down on Graham and Clive to get him back, to get Paul back home, so back to the place where he can get to his spaceship. And the film goes on from there, and they go on a road trip across America. Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, I really love Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. They're great British actors and they're awesome. I love the film Shaun of the Dead. I love that film they're in. That's one of my other best comedies. Another comedy which I think is one of my top comedies is one of the other films they star in, Hot Fuzz. That is hysterical. I love that film. I love all the films they're in, and this is just added. I really love them, and Seth Rogen as the voice of Paul is hysterical. I like that they've gone for the traditional little green man approach. And there's for sci-fi fans, there's loads of references to classic sci-fi films and little things that we'll say about sci-fi films. There's some really great references, especially to films like Star Wars. There are great references to things like Close Encounters of the Third Kind. There's some references to E.T. at some point. There's even a reference which constantly goes through the thing, which is basically like a reference to Total Recall. Whereas Graham's basically wrote a book, and on the front cover is a picture of an alien woman with 3 breasts. Now, for anyone who remembers, there is a prostitute character in Total Recall who has 3 breasts, so it's almost a reference to that. Everyone's response to it, the guys, there's a lot of, I think it's a lot of guy humour, a lot of humour for men in this movie. I'm not saying women won't enjoy it, but there's a lot of male humour. But there's one bit where the guys look at it and they go, "A woman with 3 breasts. Awesome!" and they go like that. It's great comedy, and it's wrote by Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. I really love this movie. It's a real funny movie. I mean, I found it hysterical. I mean, some of the things that happen to these guys, and I think the animation on Paul, the animation for Paul is amazing. Apparently they used the same type of animation they used in Avatar, and I absolutely loved that character. The character they created is this really weird alien, but he's not like a traditional alien. For some reason, because he's grown up on Earth, he's been on Earth for over 60 years, he's very streetwise, and he does speak English. There's actually this great reference they explain about how he can speak English, and the guys like Clives end up looking at him and going, "Have you done something to my brain so I can understand you?" or something like that, and Paul just looks at him and go, "No, I'm talking English, you idiot." It's just great stuff. There is swearing in that bit, so I'm cutting that out. I loved the argument between one of the characters, I think the character's called Ruth, and Paul, and I love how it's like the argument between the religious person that believed that God did it, and of course Paul. And there's this great bit where she's like, how do you explain the creation of the human eye? And he's like, and Paul just goes, selective breed, organised species, blah 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 blah. And she goes, what does that mean? And he goes, evolution, bitch. And it's just hysterical. It is absolutely hilarious. And she goes, oh. And she's like, oh no, God made us in His image. And Paul opens the door and says, oh yeah? Well, if that's true, how do you explain me? And the woman faints. And it's hysterical. I mean, really, watch this movie. It's a really funny movie, but both men and women will enjoy, and it's absolutely great if you're a sci-fi fan. Anyway, that's the end of the review. I may do something soon, depending on what I do. I may make videos soon, but I may be laid down college and stuff, and weighed down the college stuff. But anyway, I'll make videos whenever I can. See ya, and rock on.
The truth the Pentagon ignored, Roswell kept